All right, I've got 5:05. Let's go ahead.
It's hard to get there. That thing.
Yeah. We will have a soft opening for our beer board. Let's go ahead and roll call, ma'am.
Mayor Bunker,
Here.
Vice Mayor Roman,
Here.
Commissioner Wesley Wright,
Here.
Commissioner Matt Wright,
Here.
Commissioner Plum.
We have a quorum and can conduct business of the beer board. We have one item on the agenda. Could you read that for us, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Public hearing, discussion, and possible action on suspension or revocation of the off-premises beer permit held by Nizar Lalani and Anise Kapadia for S&A Properties LLC, Mobile, 3665 Canada Road, Lakeland, Tennessee, 38002, as allowed by Title 8, Chapter 3, Section 8213 of the Lakeland Municipal Code.
Mr. Manager, your floor.
Thank you. I want to take this opportunity in front of the beer board to talk about code enforcement, which isn't a normal thing. As you know, we've talked about this project for a while, the mobile station, the renovation of the mobile station. It's been a fairly long process. There's been some bumps along the way. And I think this past weekend, a mistake was made that brought it to the forefront again, and the need for speed, the need for change moving forward. We're in front of the beer board tonight because as a beer board, you do have authority to suspend or revoke a beer license if at least 2 active code violations are present on site. There are 2 now. I'll go over those quickly. First of all, lighting. As we know, we've been waiting on a lighting plan for the site for some time. Their light is not in compliance, and they're required to report a lighting plan. It was talked about in front of the planning commission back when they were reviewing site plan work. It's been continued to be talked about by staff. That has not happened yet. So technically, that is a code violation, an active code violation. Secondly, the actions over the weekend, the pruning, actually per our code that's considered tree topping, and the aggressive manner that was done is not permitted by our code, which created a second violation. That pruning job really rendered the trees worthless on the site and are going to need to be replaced. So in our eyes, that is a tree removal. With a violation like that comes some pretty hefty penalties, some fines. I believe the fine calculated just for removing those trees comes to $12,000 per our development code. And then, of course, the other ramification is beer license is now eligible to be revoked because of this. I will say that since yesterday, Corey, our planner, met with the owners yesterday and went through some stuff and talked about what would be needed to bring this forward, to keep on moving the site plan forward. Late yesterday, he was contacted, 2 people contacted him. First of all, the landscaper who will be doing the work contacted Corey with the plan. So we know that Mr. Lalani had called the landscaper to get this rolling. And second of all, he got a call from the lighting contractor, both late yesterday afternoon. So there has been some movement in the past 24 hours towards compliance. But that is in front of you tonight to consider revoking or suspending the beer license until these code violations are rectified.
And from your understanding, is this a response that was brought from the city planning, or is this based out of what you heard from your representatives?
I think both. I think there's been a lot of pressure put on the applicants, through the entire process. After this past weekend's cutting, I think everybody heard about it. This was big news citywide. We were getting a lot of calls and emails at City Hall. I'm sure you were as well. It's sort of the last straw. This process has been taking too long through the whole thing. There's been mistakes along the way from starting painting, put a permit too soon. A lot of that's been fixed. I think the owners have been very open with us. They've been here in front of you several times talking about progress. And they are here tonight to speak to you about this latest transgression. But it is serious, and I think they understand we're taking this seriously.
Before we speak to the business owners, the applicants, do you have any recommendations for this board?
Well, I think we have 2 items out there. We have the fines that are on the table. They have requested a waiver of those fines. We have not considered those yet, haven't brought those forward yet, so I think the issue is too fresh at this point. We don't have any resolution in anything, so we would never consider waiving anything, and that'd be an action for really the board of commissioners to do, not the beer board of commissioners talk about a fine waiver. And the revoking the beer license, that is a severe punishment. I think you have 2 choices at this point as a beer board. I think you go ahead and suspend or revoke it, and then put it back in place as soon as he has complied, which may speed things up, or you defer it, give him say another 30 days, and see what progress he's made until that point, and then have the opportunity there to revoke or suspend So it's either way, leave it in place with a deadline, or go ahead and do it now and put it back in place.
Thank you. We'll speak to the applicants now. if that's okay. Come forward, guys. If you don't mind, gentlemen, just state your name and business address for the record.
Mr. Palia, S&P Properties, 665 Canada Road, Lakeland, Tennessee.
You, sir?
Nizar Lalani, 10530 Juno Way, Collierville, Tennessee, 38017.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us a little about what's going on before we ask questions?
Sure. I would like to first like to give a update on the renovations. First, I would like to start to say that we took over on last June. So this property had a lot of issues prior to that, it was run down. So the day we took over, we worked inside, and there was a problem with the paint. We met Mr. Tom, worked with Mr. Tom, went back and forth. We had option A, option B. Then late November, board meeting, we agreed upon option A for the painting and the canopy. And Mr. Nizar had gone out of country, and he just came December, last week of December. After that, we had given the photometric work to CSA, Mr. Ethan, and we had bought LED lights, which normally all canopy uses, but those lights has higher lumens, and Mr. Ethan said that it will not work per Lakeland city code. Either you can put few lights to meet the Lakeland, but when you put few lights like 12 or 14, instead of 32, there will be a dark spots. Because if you look at the canopy, we have 32 lights. And also the lights we had for the side, he said that's a lot of lumens, and those are normal LED lights. If you look other cities, or if you look other convenience stores, so those are a lot common available in the market. So what we said that we are going to use some other store, and Mr. Ethan is going to give us a new specification. So we are going to get from the vendor. He needs some file that he can plug into his plant. It shows the lumen to meet the city requirement. Same with the perimeter light, and that thing I will deliver before next 15th meeting March. I just met him and he's working on it, and
Let me make sure I understand you correctly. I don't want to speak for you.
sure.
But you said that you could have the light fixed by March 15th.
No, I need to first give the photoelectric map, then board has to approve it, and then I can replace it. But I had to submit the plan first to approve it.
Correct.
So that's up to the electric. I will give you other update regarding the signage. We have given a check to Mr. Williams Sign Company because he was out, and January we had a storm and a lot of things, so that got a little delayed, but he's working on it. I'm waiting the payment for the check. He's going to take care of the sign. Stone has been ordered. It should be here on Friday, and Monday is supposed to start. That also have a record. And for landscaping, we had a plan. He had a lawn maintenance guy who maintains his other sites in Memphis. So he asked him to trim the trees for winter trimming, and that guy went ahead and trimmed a lot. And that guy wasn't aware about the city code, and even I wasn't aware about city code about pruning, but that was an honest mistake. And I saw the letter from Mr. Corey. I went and spoke with Mr. Corey, and I got the map with the original landscape plan and asked him to add more trees to rectify this. The mistakes we have done, we have to rectify it. So Mr. Corey said we need to add more trees, and now Mr. Corey and the landscaping plan is working on a plan to add more trees. And we expect that plan to be submitted to board before March 15 meeting.
Mr. Mayor?
Okay, the lighting plan
Yes.
for, to correct the LED, when did we request a plan be submitted? How long has that been?
Was in November.
November?
meeting.
He was out for a month. He's doing procurement, purchasing, all that. I work for a company called Lakeland. I'm a principal engineer. He has more other stores, so he does a lot of operations, reviewing operations.
Okay.
So
How long does it typically take to create a lighting plan like that, Jim? Do you know?
It's hard to say. My understanding, and they can correct me if I'm wrong, I think they had purchased some lights that didn't come with the photometric plan. Typically, we get the plan that goes with the lights, and they come in, they install them. And it sounds like they had purchased them first. They weren't done through a lighting engineer or whatever that bought them. And it was difficult for their new lighting guy to figure out the photometrics on it. So I think they're working sort of backwards to figure out the photometrics to provide a photometric plan that's acceptable for our code so we can determine if the light is even compliant. And I think he's there, based on last night what I've heard, I think he can tell now that the lights are too bright for our code. So they're working through that, get a plan, proper light to bring forward.
Also, where, in other locations, other stores, when put that be like this, is the light used in most of the locations, so we just got it from the same guy. But other locations, we don't do, this is first time I'm making photometric map, which is a good thing, at least you know how the light is going to be. But we were not aware of that is needed, and Mr. Tom had asked us to provide one, so we found a vendor who makes it, and that's a CSA. So we made him this professional fee payment, and he's working on it. And I totally understand how you guys feel and what, but things did happen, and that's how it is, but,
Yeah, I understand that. And you know, I've talked with you guys on the phone, so I have maybe a little more insight
sure.
into kind of what's going on. But as I explained to you yesterday, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I assumed that before. But, so as I talked to you yesterday, you know, we're kind of looking at this first time shame on you, second time if we let it go, shame on us. You know, we don't want to be. I don't want to be played the fool. You guys are nice. You're a business owner, which we don't want to hurt our business owners unnecessarily. But compliance, we take it very seriously. I mean, we're a board that has been very aggressive with residential and economic growth. We want to make sure that we attract people who are going to put their businesses here. They're going to bring their families here to live. We do everything we can to make it possible for these developers to get through the approval process quickly so that they can make money, there's not delays and so forth. So we're very friendly to developers, both residential and commercial. But we are positioned, we position ourselves to be very unfriendly to people who violate that trust that we built with these developers. So if you come in here and you want to make money, you want to do good development, you want to make money, we'll be very friendly to that. And if you want to come in here and abuse the rules, it's not going to be, I mean, $10,000 or $12,000 fines and corrective action and so forth and so on. I'm sure that doesn't sound very good, right?
We want to work with the city, whatever it takes. We are not to, go against, we want to work as a family. And I think when Mr. Tom was here last time, we asked them also, like, if any lawn maintenance, we need to get any, permission from the city, or there's a lawn maintenance and anything is go under the maintenance. But the guy who did the training, he did so hard on that, and we take the full responsibility for that. And we are not, want to go against the city law or any code for enforcement. We want to do the best for the city and the families of the Lakeland.
Gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Do you have the financial ability to move fast? The reason why I ask that is we're just a beer board here. So it may be in your best interest to have your beer license revoked. That way you could maybe move with the city at your own pace. But if you have the financial ability to move fast, then we can consider that. Can you tell me a little about that?
Yeah, we have financial funding to move fast, and give us 1 month time, March 15, we will produce the plans by March 15, and when the plan is approved, we set the date to execute it. And till March 15, the bricks, stonework would have been done, and a significant progress would have been made on the sign by William Signs. And from now to March 15, I'll be on top of all these things and provide update to Corey, and Corey will be updated with what's happening. And also where we are here for long-term relationship, we have same goal, we have same stakeholder, even we want to do business, even we want things to be good. Since McDonald's has gone, we have lost a lot of customers, traffic is gone down, it's hurting when we want good life, we want good property, we want customer to come to give good service so they come again. It's the service and the environment where the customer comes.
I understand.
So we have same goal, same thing. It's very, very unfortunate that this happens again. I'm very, very sorry.
Would anybody else like that?
I heard him say something about sign and lighting. What about vegetation?
So you said landscape plans,
Landscape
March
plan.
15th. That's a long time to have those trees looking like that, though. My recommendation is to have the trees cut down, stump grind, and just start over, because those trees are useless.
Sure,
That's really a tree 101 pruning no-no. That guy did to you guys.
sure,
That shouldn't happen anywhere.
sure. That's Mr. Cody and Mr. Ralph from the landscape company are working is how to rectify this. So,
Yeah, but I'm not sure we can wait till March 15th for the plans, because it's gonna look like that.
sure.
So that's another month.
Sure, but whatever you suggest, we'll do it.
Yeah.
No problem. Let us know what you
Hold on,
get.
let's just make sure we're 100% clear. Can you make that form of a recommendation or suggestion?
Yeah, I would recommend that we have the plans submitted as soon as possible. I really recommend
Sure.
those trees to come down,
Sure,
stump ground,
sure,
and new trees planted
sure.
before March
We
15th.
spoken to.
Because we can't wait till
Yeah,
spring,
we spoken
summer.
to Mr. Radford this morning, and he's,
I'm sorry, I don't want to get to that. I don't mean to, I want to make sure there's no confusion. Just give us a specific date, that's fair.
End of February, okay. We need to have new landscape put in by the end of February, including the trees replaced.
Can I ask a clarifying question real quick,
Yeah,
just
sure.
in regards to the resolution? I'm gonna be honest with you, I mean, I feel like I got a pretty good handle. I'm in favor of revoking the beer license right now until improvements are made. My question is revoking the license, are you suggesting that we hold off on revoking the license and see what happens at the end of February? Or is it time to?
Gentlemen, I think they have, not think, I know, I asked them point blank, and they said they have the financial wherewithal to move fast. If they have the financial wherewithal to move fast and that we can work together, I think that would be the best course of action. However, I do believe we should set a pretty short timeline, so if for some reason we have a third strike, we're going to move
No
fast.
problem, no problem.
Okay.
One second, Council.
The landscape plan needs to be submitted to NBC,
Okay.
and so before anything can be installed.
Is there a way to expedite it? Because waiting till March 15th, one reason, it's like, ta-da, here we are, everyone sees it, and it's not gonna help you guys either, because a lot of people, they're seeing it, and they're like, we're not gonna go there, because look what they did to the trees, I'm just trying to help you guys out too. It's an optics thing.
The only reason I say March.
So what you're saying is we would need a special call meeting of the MPC or March 15th, whichever comes first.
The plan would have to be submitted to NBC, in whatever time for them to review it, then they would have to meet and approve the plan before any installation would be appropriate.
Yeah.
Would be approved.
Yeah, no, one option could be while we're getting through the NPC, that the trees out there in our eyes, they're dead. They've been removed already. Board recommends also that immediately, within the next days, if they can, get rid of those grind stumps, get a prep for new landscaping as they're working forward the landscape plan for the planting of the month. And I know, Corey sent me a note saying that he talked to the landscaper that they're using. They were talking about a mid-March submittal, the full landscape plan in compliance is appropriate. Now, if we have it at that point and then get an MPC special call meeting, we can get that done. So we're talking mid-March and then start planning from there. But that might be an interim step, get rid of the.
I think part of the confusion is they just want the trees down in the interim while we're waiting on the.
And we can do that anytime. We can give them to go ahead and take those down.
So the problem is the plans, if you, it's let's say there's an April, it's cut to close.
Okay, no.
Just for you guys that don't know, Mr. Wesley Wright is a landscape professional, and the mayor's confirmed with him about his opinion of when is an appropriate time to plant the trees. That's kind of what we're talking about. So, based on your opinion, let's make some progress. What are you suggesting?
Well, the trees need to be in the ground in March, because you wait till April, you have no irrigation. Let's say the temperatures shoot up, no one's watering those things, they may or may not make it. I mean, it's kind of like gambling, you know?
Sure.
Everything I do, like for HOAs or neighborhoods where they don't have irrigation, I get those things in the ground by March, if I can.
Sure.
And I hope there's rain. I pray for rain, you know, because it's just a gamble. So we don't want trees going in the ground. Let's say you did what you're supposed to do and they end up dying, then we have more issues down the road. We want to get it done in the ground.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, but still in my mind, and Chris, correct me if I'm wrong in what we should be considering right now, but the trees are certainly an issue. The trees get us back even. It gets us back to where we were last week. We had trees. Excuse me. We're still nowhere closer on lighting. We're still nowhere closer on the stone, we're still nowhere closer on the other landscaping, the plans. I just feel like we've gone through this now for several meetings, quite a few months, and I don't really feel like hardly any progress has been made. And it's my opinion that it should be revoked until we see some good, solid trees certainly, but other progress as well before. And I'm not even including the fines. I'm not sure where I stand on the fines either. I'm sort of leaning towards the fines and revoking the beer license, all of it, because I think we've been clear and pretty fair over the past few months about what we want to see. We hope you guys make a lot of money. We've said that for many months, but to my eye and to most citizens' eyes, it doesn't look any different other than a coat of paint. It's the same thing it was 6 months ago. So that's just where I stand on it, but I don't know what can be revoked right now immediately. It sounds like maybe Commissioner Wright is in favor of putting that off until the end of
Let's find
February
out
to see
what
what
they're willing,
happens.
let's find out what they're willing to commit to before we make a decision.
Okay.
Yes.
I think Commissioner, he's right, when we took over, it was 6 months when we applied for the beer permit. But we got the approval in end of November from the city to do all the maintenance work and, the stone work and all that. And in November, I left to country, India, and I came back at end of December. So when I came back, we already, trying to work with this stone guy and the sign guy. And the weather was not, approving us to do anything in January. So it's only 3 months, we understand it's 6 months, but when we got the approval, we got in end of November, approval with the city.
Right.
So on meantime, we did all the preparations before that, we should call the stone guy, we call the sign guy, and they are, right now, the weather is great, so they are lined up right now to do the work on the property.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I thought you going back home for a month. My aunt's from Kerala, of all places, Kerala, India. Most people think, how was that possible? But she married my dad's brother many years ago. I love the country. They go back quite often as well. But because you went home for a month, I don't feel like we should be delayed as a city business.
Let me ask you a point
the progress that we're making.
of something. Mr. Manager, what would be an appropriate ask? We would like to see the lighting plan, we would like to see whatever plan is for the stonework, if not work done, as well as the actual landscape implemented by March 15th. Can you tell me how to ask for that?
Yeah, I think one thing, I think this goes into an aggressive timeframe to have March 15th be the deadline. We have to have a landscape plan approved. You have to have it submitted this month, to get it on March 15th, and have it approved, lighting plan approved, and the stonework complete by March 15th. You could even at that point schedule a tentative beer board meeting for the next day. They can comply with any of the three. We could reconvene the beer board and take action at that point. That'd be a March 15, done. If they're ready to do the landscaping immediately after the approval, in which case it'd still be planted in March.
Will you do me a favor? Will you read that, looking at them so they can know what they're agreeing to?
If you're good, that's a March 15th approval by the MPC for landscape lighting, and then the stonework would be done by that point, which would mean you'd be submitting plans by probably the end of this month.
Sure. For the landscaping
Sure.
and the lighting.
Correct.
Yeah. Sure.
And we'll get that to you in writing too. Yeah, and the trees down, that's something we want to do immediately. We can release them.
We'll do the revision.
Okay,
Okay.
we make that happen.
We will talk to Cody tomorrow and start taking off.
Okay, how quickly can you do that?
Maybe 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Okay, the applicant has expressed a concern to move quickly, has expressed remorse, has expressed the ability to rectify the situation as fast as possible. He also understands that this is kind of a last shot deal. I have Joe Minutes ready to revoke the beer license. I'd like to make the recommendation to table this until table this discussion and reconvene the beer board on March 15th as needed.
Motion.
Council.
The public, I need an opportunity to speak before they can potential discussion or any potential votes on revocation or suspension, so it's back to the public.
Tonight?
Yes.
But,
No, this is.
okay, that's before a revocation is considered. Let's make sure.
Okay,
All right,
Okay.
so the motion to table, I can't remember, is that a debatable motion? We can agree to debate the motion to table. I'll give it a second. The board, are y'all okay with that? Debatable?
Yes.
All right, so I'll give it a second so we can discuss it.
Okay, open for discussion, probably.
When I was here before, I'm just thinking back when I was here before, thinking, man, if they do everything they said, no more problems. If we have any more problems out of this, then we really need to set an example. And it's more about, if we never, everybody that comes in here before us, the Long Landing people, they're gonna be nice, these people are gonna be nice, the next people are gonna be nice. So we're not gonna run into anybody that's arrogant, rude. I mean, that's not what we're gonna run into these board meetings. I'm torn because I feel like we need to set an example, say enough's enough, so people, when they decide to do things like this, that they come to the city, they verify that it's okay, and so forth and so on. We got that side of me, and then there's the other side that says, hey, I don't want to hurt this business owner. I mean, we really want to encourage our businesses to come out here and to prosper, and their prosperity is directly linked to our success. And so I don't know where, I really don't know where I am on this thing. I am encouraged that they came here, and that there's rock solid deadlines to get certain things done, and they have the ability financially, according to their own testimony, to do it. Which I guess I expected no less. Well, I'm with you, Commissioner Wright, Commissioner Matt Wright. I'm with you on that. I hear what you're saying.
Well, and to further my point, I mean, I think that's part of the thing. If the financial ability is there to do it now, I think the problem can be solved pretty quickly to get the license back. But I specifically remember in November, when that meeting ended, I kind of voiced a concern that said, we've approved the license. What if we're back here in a few months and nothing's happened? Can we pull it at that time? And we confirmed that with Chris, because we actually changed the ability last year to give this board the authority to do something just like this. So we actually have a little bit of teeth in what we're threatening sometimes, because in the past, Lakeland couldn't do these things, and that's why things just went on and on and on and on.
I guess, and I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah,
I guess I'm trying to dial it, Mr. Chairman, we have the liberty to just dial it back a little bit.
I just want to make one point. The reason why my position is what it is because I truly think the trees were a mistake, as horrendous and whatever mistake it was. We're here because of the second violation of the trees, and I really feel like that was a mistake after talking to the applicant. So that's the reason I'm taking the position I'm taking.
I got you. Part of what bothers me about revoking it right now is that we control some of the timing with our board meetings and so forth. Like if we put off a board meeting for 2 weeks, then we got their license revoked, and they don't have any options. They can't do anything because they can't get approval. That's problematic for me. If we could say, hey, you get your plan in tomorrow, we'll have a board meeting. You got a week to put it in or whatever. We're just not going to instant. If they already had all their approvals for lighting and had all their approvals for the plans, I probably, just to encourage them to get going, I'd be with you. It bothers me that we control some of that, and we can say, okay, your beer permit is pulled, and by the way, it's going to be at least 2 weeks before you can come get your approvals.
Yeah. Is that the sense we could get that?
Yeah. probably.
Is that the soonest we get it approved? Jim?
March 15th?
I mean, if they submit something to us, how soon do we say yes or no, work on this?
Well, it requires planning commission approval for landscaping and lighting. So it'd be a matter of convening that body, either a special meeting or their regular scheduled meeting. Right.
That'd be next week or week after?
Well, there is some notice period, but we need to have the plans in advance for review, get to the planning commission, usually a week in advance, so they can review it. I don't think we're too far. I think a lot depends on how quickly they can move on the landscape plan. We can set a sort of deadline and say, get it done, for sure.
Because you've already talked to Corey, do you have a landscape plan? It's already drawn up?
It's already been drawn.
It's already drawn.
So Corey's seen it,
So that's
so we could be,
public sector.
No, the landscaping plan was without the trees, so now we met Cody yesterday, and Cody said we need to rectify to add trees.
okay.
So landscaping guy is adding trees, and Mr. Cody said that he will work with landscaping guy to make sure the trees which had it meet the city requirement, the
Okay.
density and the number of the trees.
So
Well,
we
if that's the case, I wasn't aware of that, so if that's
That's what
the
I was
case,
wondering.
maybe we could separate the landscaping and the lighting. The landscaping right now, we probably get in front of the planning commission next week at their regular meeting, very short notice. Assuming we can get that done, I don't want to commit to that, but I can probably get it done if we're ready to go and Corey's comfortable bringing it forward next week and have that done. Keep the lighting on the regular schedule. That might take longer to get the lighting plan done. I don't think there's any way to get the lighting plan on the agenda next week, based on where I understand we are, or they are.
You get the trees in better shape, that's all, it's not like you just.
But if they're
That's
ready
just
to
the
go,
biggest-
there's no reason to hold them up until.
Well, if they say they get a hypothetical, it's all about hypotheticals here. So let's say we get it approved, they can get it done, landscaping done, before the end of this month. It's a short month, but it's the 8th, right? So they get it done. I'm just thinking,
And a clarifying question, now I'm going to try to help you out. You said the stone's been ordered and it can start being installed next week?
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be able tomorrow and start on Monday. And we have the paper for it.
And that part's
And
been
we have
fully
made the
approved.
payment for the signs, and
Right.
the sign guys working on make the payment, there was some better.
We have all the documents.
Mr. Mayor?
And I think the city residents, if they see stuff going up on Monday and they see stumps being ground
Yeah.
out, you know, they see activity on that site, they understand it's under construction, it's a work in progress, I think that, you know, that's worth something, so.
so the only thing you'd have left is the lights, which does take till March, so because of the thing, planning meeting. That's the one's gonna be stretched into March.
Yeah, the light thing's probably the one I'd be most flexible on.
Right, me too, yeah, me too, I agree with that. Okay, so, my fellow commissioners probably talked me off the ledge here a little bit. Sounds like I was the only one that was ready to move forward with, the revoking of the license. If we can get the stone going up Monday, get the trees taken care of, get the plans in, I'm okay to table this until we see the next one.
And let me, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or Mr. Vice Mayor, I'm sorry. I will tell you this, that if we are here again, March 15th or beyond, I will not hesitate. I will not hesitate. All right? Let's get it done. All right.
Okay.
Council ready for the vote, or you're saying you still need help there?
Do you want to summarize what we've been talking about? I think
The action on the
we could
table is
defer-
just table,
Conditions.
yeah, so there's no action to revoke at this time.
So if I get the timeline correct, the removal of the trunks will start immediately next week, would be that deadline. Stonework starts on Monday, or we say next week. Landscape plan should be approved at the February 15th MPC meeting, which is next week. And the lighting plan has until March 15th to be approved by the planning commission.
And the sign, what's the sign?
I'm not asking what the sign, I believe the sign's been fully approved, I think they're getting the work done towards the approval,
Yeah, so we have made the
So-
payment and he's working on it.
for the stone.
What's your estimated deadline on the sign?
They took the information of all the, the planning board and all that, I think maybe 30 days max.
30 days? So
Instead of March
that March
15th.
15th as
Yeah,
well.
that's right.
So put the sign and the lighting March
And then if any of those deadlines are not met, we'll go ahead and reconvene the beer board.
Okay. Let me make sure I understand, Mr. Vice Mayor. The lighting is a lighting plan. The
Correct.
sign is actually completion, install everything.
Correct.
Right? Okay. Okay.
And same for next week, landscaping plan approved next
Okay.
week.
Then, do we want to add on there a deadline for the lighting to be installed? Do we want to go that far, or what? Be corrected? Like the end of March or mid-April, give them 30 days on the lighting correction?
It'll get approved by March 15th, installed by April 15th.
Yeah,
I'm good with
yeah.
That's fine.
So that would be completion of the. All right, is there anything else on this project besides lighting, signage, vegetation, or landscaping equipment? Anything else on this that's need to be?
I'm aware of it. That's a pretty good list.
This includes, y'all are fixing that back, we used to do car wash and all that, that's getting all fixed up too, the plans. Is that it?
Like, it's already been covered on the both sides, one side and open on the other side. If you need to do anything else, you guys let us know. We will do it.
We have done what Mr. Torman asked us to do, so that's what we have done.
Okay.
If you want anything else,
You know, what is the plan for the car wash? You just shutting it down, mothballing it?
Yeah, because in the town, there are so many good car washes now, all the
Yeah.
gas stations are coming out from the car washes.
Storage, mainly?
yeah.
That raises the question, I know we're votes pending on this. Tate,
Yes, a vote's been.
do we want to go ahead and move to the vote? I've got a question for the manager I can ask offline. Just about why we were considering site plan renovation, why we didn't consider removal of that. Because,
I don't have an answer to that. I can find out.
yeah, I don't know why we would do that. Maybe that's something that, if when they come back and ask us to forego the $10,000 to $12,000 fine, then maybe we can work that deal with you.
I will call for the vote of the motion to table, which is on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. I see no other business to come before this board, so without objection, the beer board is adjourned.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Exactly. All right. We'll be in touch soon.
Thank you so much.
Some friends.